What's going on, everybody? This is Nick Lawson from Squad Sports. We're really excited to be supporting the Free Agent Friday series. A lot of great talent out there. Without further ado, this is the next free agent you should be signing with your sports team.
All right, we're back again for another Free Agent Friday. And today I've got Daniel Hancock with me. Daniel, thank you for joining me.
Yeah, thank you for having me here.
So, Daniel, let's talk about your college education. Tell me where you went to school, any degrees.
So I graduated from Manhattanville College in Purchase, New York. I spent my time between there and college in New Rochelle. I graduated with a Bachelor's of Science in Communication, focusing on TV, media, and sports.
So, what made you want to get into the sports business?
I've been a sports nut since the day I was born. My dad had me watching Braves games within hours of me being born, teaching me to hate certain teams and to love certain teams. So I grew up around sports my whole life. I played sports in high school, got a chance to play tennis in college,
Okay.
and just I figured, if you do what you love, go to do something you can be successful in, and that's sports.
So, what kind of job are you looking for coming out of school here?
Anything with media, event operations. I've done a lot with internships to help kind of prepare me for multiple areas of study
So let's
and
talk about
multiple.
let's talk about those internships. Like, let's go through those. Where have
So,
you done those, and what kind of roles were you in?
so I worked at the Hoop Group company in Neptune, New Jersey. I was a caller to help get kids into events, help recruit kids to come in, and I worked as the head athletics department intern for College of New Rochelle. I helped run their websites. I started a YouTube series that we ran through the whole year, got us a lot of views, kind of helped organize a lot of events that we did, and even got our first Midnight Madness event organized and going.
When you were doing some of that video, the YouTube stuff, were you also doing like video editing stuff, or was this just kind of building the page out and kind of planning it?
I was running everything. I was editing, uploading, coming up with the ideas. I got started with video editing on that, and just slowly started becoming a passion. Learn kind of figuring out how you can, you can see everything that other people don't see and how it comes together so perfectly.
So, what programs do you use, like technology-wise, software, for the stuff that you've worked on so far?
I use Adobe mostly. I'm starting to get into a lot of some of the other video editing and photo editing programs. I'm proficient right now in mainly Photoshop and Premiere, but that's been my goal during all this quarantine, is to kind of get myself completely comfortable with every asset of Adobe.
What's like your dream job, like, you know, 10, 20 years from now?
I think my dream job would definitely be a play-by-play commentator in the NBA.
Oh, okay.
That's something I started doing this past year. It's something I've been really passionate about since I was in elementary school, and I got the opportunity in college and just fell back in love with it.
So, who's your NBA team?
My team's the Thunder, but
Thunder.
I'm a,
Okay.
I'm a big just in general NBA guy. My parents hate watching games with me because I'll know every player's backstory, like who their parents are. I'll know everything about them.
That's my favorite. NBA is my favorite league and sport. I'll watch NBA every night of the week. Like, I don't even care who's playing. Like, I love the NBA.
I can't wait for that the season to come back. I'm gonna be just sitting in my room all day.
I know. I'm excited about it. And then I just saw my YouTube TVs getting jumped up in price. I'm like, just right in time for live sports. Thanks. So tell me about your play-by-play experience.
Yeah, I got the opportunity at Manhattanville. I started out in volleyball and soccer, got to call a couple of games. My first game actually ended in a triple overtime game-winning header with like
Wow.
5 seconds left. So that was my first solo broadcast, and that was probably the best one I've done.
It's like, man, are they
Um,
all going to be like this?
it was crazy. I ran straight from class, and he goes, "Oh, you're on by yourself," and I had like 2 minutes to kind of prepare and start going. But I got to do basketball with a couple of friends of mine because I worked for the basketball team, so they knew I knew all the players personally. And it just got to the point where, like people back home were tuning in because they knew I was going to be on. A lot of people were watching, and it started becoming a really fun experience.
Was that on like YouTube, or was it audio, or just or was it video and audio?
It was video and audio. They did it on the school website.
Okay, cool. What skills do you bring to a new position?
I'd say competitiveness, an eagerness and a drive to learn and be successful, and someone who's flexible with hours and work styles and is able to put in whatever work's necessary to complete something and be successful.
What area do you think you need to work on the most?
I would say delegation and overconfidence, because I know a lot of times I'll take on a project and then be like, oh yeah, I can get this one done too. And then I'm stuck in my room. I'm stuck in my dorm room at 4 a.m. Like, why did I get 2 assignments? Why did I do?
Yeah. No, it takes time, especially on the delegation side. It took me a little while to really get that down. And man, once you do, it's like, wow, you could just accomplish so much more. So you'll
I think
get there.
that was definitely something that I had to learn in basketball. I was the head manager and I had 2 assistant managers under me, and a graduate assistant that would help. And it was just every time it'd be, you need to do these 4 things. And be like, okay, I'll do it myself. You guys can go home. And then coach would see me and go, did you sleep last night?
So how about you got you like the play-by-play side? How about PA announcing? I saw that you did that as well for a few years.
Yeah, that's where it all started. I actually got to call my first game in the Barclays Center. Our school was
Oh
playing.
wow, not a bad spot.
No, it wasn't. It was coach kind of sprung it on me, and it got to the point where when I was at college in Rochelle, they called me the voice of the Blue Angels, and I was doing every game for every single sport, and I loved doing it, and it was funny because everyone like would hear my voice, then they would hear my announcer voice, and they didn't think it was the same person.
Dude, that is the best. Like, it's so funny to see that. Like, I always am amazed. It's like you hear the voice, and especially if it's somebody you know. Like, I had somebody I knew that was doing the PA for me. I was like, who is on the mic right now? This is not my guy. so you got that. Give us that smooth radio voice for us.
So it'd be, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Wellness Center here at the College of New Rochelle for today's matchup between the Blue Angels.
Nice. All right. I like it. We always would take the staff out and kind of play around and try to like be like the announcer. Like we would just have like a contest with our sales team and stuff. So
we had a player do one game because he was sitting. I was like, I want to do it since I'm not doing anything. And like I was like, wow, this is a lot harder than I thought it was gonna be.
Oh yeah. I would. I'd mess it up. I think I had to do it at one point in my career for something, and it was not in my wheelhouse. So it takes the right person for that. When you were working at your last college as a game day assistant, what kind of stuff were you doing there?
So as a game day assistant, it was a lot of event operation type of things. We'd get there early, set up the tables, the scoreboards, get all the live stats ready, check the website, make sure the trainers were good, the other team was in their locker room, they were okay, there weren't any problems. And it was just making sure all the behind the scenes stuff that the parents, the players, and the people watching at home don't see, making sure it was okay and ready.
And then I saw that you were the manager, and then you even coached a little bit on one of the JV teams.
Yeah, I got the opportunity my junior year to help coach the JV team for College of New Rochelle. That was definitely an interesting experience. It was different. It's different to see when you're my age and you're coaching little kids versus when you're coaching people the same age or older than you, how different coaching gets, especially at the college level. We were in a tough conference with a lot of prep schools. And so we were playing a lot of Division I players, and I learned a lot of patience and leadership skills from that, having to, it isn't just these people they didn't have to listen to me because I was just an assistant. I was just the kid they
Right.
were seeing in the dorm room. They had to, I had to earn their trust.
And their respect, which is crucial.
Mhm.
How'd you enjoy that?
It was fun. We ended up fourth overall. We lost in the first round of the conference tournament, but it was really fun. A couple of our players transferred to schools and got first team all conferences and led their team in scoring. So it was definitely an interesting experience.
So how would you define success?
For me, success is someone you can trust, someone that the higher ups can trust because they'll get a job done, and someone that the people you're delegating to trust that they know they're getting the job done, they know what they're doing, and they're going to put in the effort with you to get everything done.
How about a fun fact about you?
So, fun fact about me is that I grew up in a town that was based off of the 50s TV show was based off of the Andy Griffith Show.
Okay.
I live in Mayberry. Um, so it was interesting. I went from Mayberry to the Big Apple.
What kind
And,
of shock was that?
oh, it was definitely interesting. I think the big one was when the school said they were going to have a barbecue, and it was just hamburgers and hot dogs.
Yeah.
And my friends are looking at me like, "You okay?" I was like really upset about it because I was ready for some ribs.
Where's the pig? Where's the?
Yeah.
We're not gonna do a whole hog. So what do you like better? That you like the big city? You like the country?
I like the city. I like that you meet so many people from so many different lifestyles,
Oh
environments,
yeah.
perspectives, and it helps you really kind of center yourself in a lot of different areas.
So in your next position, are you open to relocating, or do you need to stay, in Mayberry area?
No, I'm definitely open to relocation. That was one of the reasons I went to New York was, a lot of people in small towns, they leave for a little bit and come back. And, I felt comfortable once I kind of left that little bubble to be as a more well-rounded, more successful person. And I think definitely relocating somewhere new, learning a new environment, new kind of way people live would definitely be something good for me.
Yeah, it's always cool to see the differences, from different cities, different regions. I'm a food guy, so I like to check out all the food
Oh
from the
yeah.
different places. So, but no, I want to thank you, Daniel, for joining me. Hopefully we can, help get you some exposure, but, thanks for joining me and keep in touch.
And thank you so much for this. This has definitely been an interesting experience, but it's been a great one.